Okay, what we're gonna do here is I'm gonna show you a video. I'm gonna put some new cable on the skidder. This stuff is 5/8 swedge that's on here. I'm just gonna put regular 5/8 6x19. This cable's not old at all, and unfortunately somebody was in the skidder that shouldn't have been, and look at that mess. Bird's nest. What happens is it comes flying off and it spools out, you know, and then the wraps get under wrapped, you know, you can see that there. And then when you tighten it down, shit, like you see there, that one's folded under and over, and sometimes you can pull it out just yanking on it, but as you can see, this wrap is over top, this one goes clean up underneath. It's just a mess. There's still loose wraps. So $400 piece of cable. I'm gonna chop it apart with my handy grinder cordless. So I'll show you some more tricks on how I put the new cable on too. Let me get at it, do another video. So I got the old cable off, and it was fed through here and had just a clamp on it right there. I don't like doing it that way. I like using this here. You get an acorn on the new cable, or I'll show you like what I do if you don't get an acorn or can't get one. I weld a nut on the end of it. But unfortunately, the person that was using this looks like they did not tighten the bolt right. Ripped the cable out, broke the bolt off. Now the strap's gone, so is the bolt. Can't do that, unfortunately. Rather frustrating. Nobody told me this happened, so I don't have the stuff to fix it. Needless to say, I'm a little jacked off, but we can still make it work with this. Just use a regular cable clamp. I had one that I just knocked off of here, and it seems to have disappeared. Where'd you go? I don't know. But I'll show you what I do when I typically use that slot, like I was showing you where the broken bolt was. When you don't get an acorn cable, what I do, I just take a 5/8 nut. This is just 5/8 cable, and I'll weld it on there. Weld it, and I'll soak it with oil real good, because you burn all the oil out of the cable and keeps it from rotting back in here. You can just see, not a beautiful weld. It's kind of hard to weld cable, but you know, you can just lock that right in. You don't have to pay to get an acorn made or take it somewhere. Save you some time. Just a quick thing I do. Not everybody has to do that. I mean, it's not something to rely on, like, you know, run all your cable out and then pull on a tree. But it's something that just keeps it coming from unspooled. You know, you accidentally walk too much cable out, you ain't got to worry about flying off the drum. So that's that. But that one thing where they had the cable clamp, typically what you use is there's a wedge. You know, if anybody, the cable wraps, it wraps around the wedge, and then the pulling force of pulling on it just makes it tighter. And when you want to take it out, you just take a sled and smack that wedge out and take it out. But there's no wedge in that drum. And if anybody's like familiar with cranes, that's how cranes work. They usually have a little wedge, you know, so the harder you pull, the tighter it gets. So, all right, let's see if I can get this spooled on or start to spool it. Okie dokie. Spooling. I know it looks ugly now, but I'm going to clean it up once I get it all on. I'll hook a choker on it and pull it all out and wind it on nice and clean. It's kind of hard to spool it by yourself. I seem to be doing a lot of shit by myself. Alright, what I'm going to show you now is how my bells go on. Because there's different styles for some people that don't, you know, maybe some guys don't really cable skid or haven't been familiar, or just some people are just curious. There's two different styles of bells. You have a ring and you have a keeper. Or ring and sleeve, I'm sorry. This is your ring. I have two different styles here. And these are basically the same thing, but these ones here, obviously I've seen a little more wear, you know, from sliding up and down the cable. This one here, this has been a newer one. They stack like this when you have them on the line, you know what I mean? They'll stack. And this is your keeper. This one goes on the cable last. So this one will be closest to the skidder. and then you daisy chain them, and then you got this one. So what this one does, has a smaller hole, so your knot that you tie on this end of the cable, you know, won't pull through. They all accept the same style choker though. So I'll set this camera down, throw them on, and I'll show you. I just tie a simple knot to keep them on. Sorry if the camera is bouncing around and flying around, but just got your cable end here. And let's see, I'm gonna slide this one on first. I'm just gonna run 4. Sometimes if I'm in small stuff, I'll run 5 and 6. You start dragging 5 and 6 cables through the bush, it gets a little shitty. It's hard on the operator. Slide them up. Now what I'll do is I'll tie a knot in this, and I'll have to put a choker on this and back up to a tree and cinch it down. You know, choke on something solid. Don't necessarily have to be a tree, it could be another machine. Then I'll trim the tail off. But I'll just take this, pull this a little bit tight. It's kind of muddy, so I'm having a hard time this morning. It's a lot easier, like I said, with another person, but can't always have that luxury. Sometimes I'll do a double knot, so it keeps it from backing out on me. So the key is to get a big knot in that, and it won't pull through. You can get ferrules that go in the end of the cable, but they cost and they're timely. They are nice though. They're a pain in the ass to put in. So I'll try to get one more video of me unspooling and respooling the cable. Okay, so I got my choker on that tree there. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just walk down this path, walk it all out. I'll tighten that knot up first, and then I'll walk all the way out that path and just pull it back in. Get it all nice and tight so it doesn't bird's nest with that. I'm trying to video as best I can. Coming out. See how it unravels so easily. My knot came undone. It's so nice to do this with somebody. There you can see, tighten my knot up. It ain't all the way tight. And, you know, it's a little asshole there, but oop, I'm not supposed to swear, but I'll cut this off about here. And when I get a good jag of logs on, that'll cinch right up real nice. So, and then I'll take you down to the skidder, kind of in a precarious spot there. I wanted to make sure it wound on nice. It's not so much important the stuff you're going to use all the time, because that'll be in and out, but it's the wraps that lay underneath to get them nice and even, and when it does bird's nest, you have less of a tendency for it to get all bound up. You can see it's got nice lay in it. There's a hiccup on that right side because of where that clamp was. Had I been able to use that hole where that acorn was, you eliminate that. So, but that's how I do cable. I'm not saying it's the right way, but hey, that's safe, it works for me. And make sure you have someone when you're tightening that knot out there. If you ever have someone helping you, when the knot starts to get tight, usually have someone hold the tail. When that thing starts to get tight, that person needs to get the hell away from it. Like far away. Go like off in a direction on an angle the opposite way, kind of like when you cut a tree. Because if that were ever pot free, man, that thing comes out of there like a coiled up snake, you know, you don't really know where it's going to go. But, and then obviously the guy in the machine stay in the cab to stay protected. But you just gotta, you know, hold your mouth straight, but it's a simple task, and as long as you pay attention and don't get in a rush, you know, you'll stay safe. So, alrighty, have a good Saturday.